Okay, so this is my final presentation for ITIQ ISLab, and so I did a Prezi on basically GDP and IMR, that is Gross Domestic Product and Infant Mortality Rate. Gross Domestic Product is an indicator for how well a country is doing, pretty much, and so a higher GDP means a better economy. More people are in the middle class to upper class. It's a fully developed country, fully developed society. And on the other end, there's infant mortality rate, or IMR. And this is based off number of deaths per 1,000 live births. And we can start out by looking at a Gephi presentation that shows just the immense
So if we
amounts
look
of
here, this
infant
is a
mortality
map of the
rate
world,
increasing
and all
as
these
time goes
blue
on.
and yellow and other colored
So
dots
here's this,
are
and as we go
country
throughout the years, we can
specific
see how it gradually grows.
countries.
So from there, now that we have the stage set and we're looking at both how GDP and IMR interact, we know that GDP is a indicator of a higher economy of more developed country, and IMR is exactly the opposite. Higher IMR is usually due to lower healthcare availability and productivity development, etc. So less healthcare and childcare is available for those children being born. So more of them are going to die at birth. And this is in underdeveloped countries. So if we look at this graph, it is the best representation. The green is the amount of GDP, which is in millions of US dollars, and we can see as it grows higher, the IMR for that same country usually grows smaller. Take the US for example. Highly developed country has a lower IMR. But if we look at Italy, we can see that it has a lower GDP, a lower development, and a high IMR. And then we can also see within this graph a little bit of a stabilizing economy. Stabilizing, or an intermediate stage between being developed completely and underdeveloped. This can be seen in Turkey, Switzerland, Sweden, as their IMR and GDP kind of balance out before they start to go in opposite directions of what they were. So this, I believe, is the best indicator of how these two factors are inversely proportionate to each other. So one goes down, the other goes up, and vice versa. And sometimes it's hard to see just a bar graph and numbers and relate that to the world. But if you look at this graph, it shows the same information in varying shades of colors. So the top 25 countries for GDP, which are the highest GDP producing countries, are in green and red. And the green shows the highest GDP is the darkest green, and the lowest the lightest green. On this other side is the lowest IMR is the lighter colors, with the darkest being the highest IMRs. And we can see how on this graph there is usually a completely opposite proportionality. So a dark green over here would relate to a light pink or almost a purple color on the right. So that shows, again, how they are inversely proportional. And if that doesn't do good enough for a global look, I've also added it into Google Earth with a little model of money showing how much GDP there is, GDP dispersion throughout the world. So the top 25 are on there, and you can look at the video. It's from Module 5, and this next slide just gives a thanks to the different programs that put the information out there and the programs that allow us to transform this data, because without it, we wouldn't be able to see a clear picture of how these two relate. And the best part about this is that we can try to change one to change the other. So we can try to develop these underdeveloped countries and see how the IMR and other factors that are bad when we think about them into good. And that's my presentation.